focus on my self harmony, because when students don't do a particular thing, or we give them assignment and then don't do, it causes us a lot of irritation, and हम चिढ़ जाते हैं. Sometimes we scold them also, and we are very convinced कि हाँ हम जो भी कर रहे हैं उनके अच्छे के लिए है. But yes, now after yesterday's lecture, I guess I will make more efforts to improve the competency level, rather than getting angry on them, or rather than scolding them, giving them punishments. These things probably will be temporary. They will be out of some fear, they will do their work, but not necessarily every time they will be convinced. So I think I will work on my abilities now more, and try and understand their psyche, and improve my interactions with them in such a way where their competency level improves, and we build a relationship where there will be lot of trust, lot of faith, and all these 9 qualities that I am going to learn henceforth. Yes.
Good morning and happy Guru Purnima to everyone. Reflecting on the feeling of trust in my life, doubt on the intention will create problems. Trust in the intention will solve all the problems and create harmony. Theoretically, fine. But when I evaluate myself, I am habituated to trust in my intention, but when I evaluate the other, I am habituated to doubt his intention. So there is always problem. So how will I go about? Maybe for myself I have made a program, and that program is mindfulness and awareness. At every moment an action is there, my action as well as the other person's action. So I am making myself aware. See, look at his intention. His intention you have to trust. Maybe that will make me and my relationship with him more harmonious, and there will be less problems, I believe. That is, and values are there for practice. We can speak volumes of things on values, but then they are for practice. So here I am getting that realization that the more we practice, the more their values are out there in our lives and in our society.
Namaste all, and good morning to all. Madam has already given an Guru Purnima Shubhecha, but today from my side also to all of you, गुरु पूर्णिमा के लिए आपके चरण स्पर्श नमस्कार. उसके साथ में धन्यवाद भी देना चाहता हूं मैं कि आप सभी लोग प्रेजेंसी के कारण ही आगे सब हम बढ़ रहे हैं, और उसके साथ में आगे के लिए विश भी करता हूं. आज स्पेशल नाम लेना चाहूँगा मैं उमेश भैया जी का, मान्य दीदी जी का, और कोलते सर का, और अदर मैडम का. इन सभी को चरण स्पर्श, और आज इसके बाद ऐसे ही आशीर्वाद बने रहे जिससे कि हम आगे काम करते रहेंगे. आज सवेरे आपने मैडम ने बोला कि एक मैसेज था मोबाइल पे, वो मैसेज तो मैं नहीं पढ़ पाया, मगर उसके साथ में फिजिकल फैसिलिटी का चार्ट भी एक देखा मैंने. उस फैसिलिटी के चार्ट को जब मैंने सवेरे 10 मिनट के लिए बनाने की कोशिश की, जब मेरे पास समय था, तो मुझे काफ़ी कुछ चीज़ें कंफ्यूज हो गया मैं उसके साथ में कि उस कॉलम में क्या रखूँ, एग्जिस्टिंग में और रिक्वायर्ड में. जहाँ की हेल्थ आ रहा है उसमें आपने लिखा है एयर, वाटर एंड अदर थिंग्स आर रिक्वायर्ड और existing. Other thing is also in food items 1 or 2, 3, 4 what is written. If I required 5 kg wheat, I will require 5 kg only, or may reduce later on, later stage, but it will not be more than that. So those some difficulties I had seen in those physical facility to be. And the same time the question is, should I make a provision of others for some donation? That is what also my question is. Thank you.
हॅलो, गुड मॉर्निंग एव्हरीवन. गुरुपौर्णिमेच्या सगळ्यांना हार्दिक शुभेच्छा. आपल्याला इन्स्ट्रक्टर्स आहेत त्यांनाही चरण स्पर्श आणि तुम्ही सगळे ऑल द पार्टिसिपंट्स वी लर्न फ्रॉम ईच अँड एव्हरी वन. सो विशेस to you as well, each one of you. Many points were discussed yesterday and last few days. Especially yesterday, the important points that appeal to me, that I concentrated on. One tries to evaluate himself or herself on their intentions being good, and when it happens to others, or there is some mistake that is committed by someone else, then even I as a person happen to judge them or not trust their intentions or their competence. This I felt intensely. Secondly, in family, everybody is same. There is everybody is the respect to all. What I mean to say is everybody is same, and so the respect to all should be the same. Whether the person is younger to me, elder to me, older to me, and if I feel that I am competent, then it is my responsibility to see to it that I have better understanding, I am more thoughtful, and I am considerate towards them. I should teach by example. As far as family is concerned, I feel I felt this for my family. So this was the takeaway for me from yesterday's session.
Namaste all. Happy Guru Purnima to all. Trust is foundation of human relations. And if there is a trust deficit, tragedy is bound to happen. If you want to know the importance of trust, you can read William Shakespeare's Othello. Or if you don't want to read, you can watch Bollywood movie Omkara. You would understand the importance of trust. So takeaway is there must be trust. If there is a trust deficit, tragedy is bound to happen. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. Am I audible? गुड मॉर्निंग वन एंड ऑल. सो लास्ट मतलब पास्ट 4 दिन से जो भी डिस्कस हो रहा है यहाँ पे, जैसे हमने स्टार्ट किया राइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग से, राइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो या राइट इवोल्यूशन हो या रिलेशनशिप और ट्रुथ ऑन इंटेंशन और रिलेशनशिप, ये सब अगर हम जब अपने आप में देखते हैं तो हमेशा ही हम ये राइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग, ट्रूथ, ट्रस्ट, ये सब हम दूसरों से एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे. सो मुझे अब ये मतलब इतना क्लैरिटी आ गया है, जो भी हम यहाँ पे डिस्कस कर रहे हैं वो अगर हम मैं अपने से शुरू कर लूँगी तो डेफिनेटली आई विल बी इन हार्मनी एंड आई विल मेक अदर्स आल्सो इन हैप्पी. थैंक यू.
Good morning everyone. So everyone is just here and wishing everyone happy Guru Purnima. So I will also wish you. But do we really a Guru? Because if we think we are Guru, then we have to prove that we have at least one Arjuna or Eklavya, but we don't have. Just like yesterday sir was saying, the students are not wishing us only. Then they are not respecting us also. So we have at least make some people, so that teach some people what real respect is and give real respect to them. Then only we can say ourselves as a Guru, else we are just teacher. Thank you.
गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन. मैम ये जो ट्रस्ट की हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, सब समझ में आ रहा है कि अगर पूरा समाज इसी कॉन्सेप्ट से चल रहा है UHV कोर्स के कंटेंट के हिसाब से, तब तो एक अच्छा समाज बन पाएगा और ये ट्रस्ट और ये सब जो बातें हम लोग कर रहे हैं वो सब एक सही फ्रूटफुल रिजल्ट देंगे. लेकिन एक जो हम सेंटेंस सुनते हैं ना, सावधान रहो, सतर्क रहो, तो अगर मतलब हम ऐसी ट्रस्ट करते रहे अभी जहाँ पे ये पूरा UHV कंटेंट अच्छे से सबके दिमाग में नहीं है, तो क्या ऐसी पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं है कि क्रिमिनल केसेस और बढ़ जाएं? क्योंकि हम लोग हर किसी पे ट्रस्ट करे जा रहे हैं और उसकी इंटेंशंस और उसकी कॉम्पिटेंसी का भी हमें पता नहीं है. तो ऐसे केसेस और बढ़ने की भी चांसेस हैं अभी के टाइम में?
हेलो, हाँ, गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीबॉडी. सो हैप्पी गुरु पूर्णिमा टू ऑल द रिस्पेक्टेड टीचर्स. कि जैसे मेरे गाइडिया सर ने बोलता है कि बीइंग अ टीचर आवर बेसिक वर्क इज टू गिव द नॉलेज, बट थ्रू आउट द होल लाइफ वी आर ऑल्सो द स्टूडेंट्स इटसेल्फ. क्योंकि जो सीखने की जो हमारी प्रोसेस है वो जिंदगी भर चलती रहती है. एंड ऑफ कोर्स टू लर्न द गुड थिंग्स फ्रॉम अदर्स it gives a great pleasure. So whatever we have learned, so first things is nothing but the physical facility and the happiness. So we should be able to try to differentiate between what is physical facility and the happiness, because these are actually the two things here. So of course to some extent physical facility gives us happiness, but it is temporary here. So we should have the happiness. So what this happiness actually, it comes from the basically understanding that real relationship. So what is relationship? It is nothing but the harmony between the family members, harmony in the society, and harmony at the that is a professional work here. As well as the sir also explained the concept of the imagination. So whenever based on this concept of imagination, we should consider our thought expression, our ideas, our that is the concept as well as everything. Apart from that, here yesterday sir also explained the concept of prosperity. So based upon this, that is a prosperity here. So whatever we have the lot of things, but so we should try to acquire the physical facility, but by considering the facility means if I have the few things, I can earn more. So based upon that, here I will be able to donate to the required person, those who are poor, those who are needy in this world. Another thing is that the evaluation. So self-evaluation, over-evaluation, under-evaluation. So if we learn these things, I think we will be able to maintain a good harmony in the society as well as in the family.
Good morning and happy Guru Purnima to one and all. As I dwell in this deeper, rather than getting clarity, I am getting a bit confused. Because we said that, okay, we should not doubt anyone's intentions, rather check out whether the intention is correct or not. So I am trusting the intention, that is fine. But whether the person is doing it with the same intention or not, how I can identify that, number one. And number two, evaluation is done in, I think, 4 phases. Yesterday we have seen the right evaluation, then over evaluation, under evaluation, and otherwise evaluation. So otherwise I understood, we are giving some different form. But what are the right parameters for right evaluation? That I could not understand, because then for me I am doing right evaluation, but it may be under or over. That's what my confusion is. So that's the question. Thank you.
Thank you. So I will take it up. We'll go for the last one.
Good morning and happy Guru Purnima to all of you. Actually, from this workshop, I am making myself correct about my concepts. So, from happiness, relationship to direct trust and love. So, whatever the things I learn and whatever my perception till the UHV2 workshop starts. So when I come to this workshop, that time I realized that I am some misconception or preconditions related to all the things. But as I am going ahead, I am making correct myself within. So that is the things I learned from this 4 days. Thank you.
There are a few questions from our participants.
So we'll be addressing, and you have a question.
So we'll start with the question.
Then Maya will take over with your question.
Good morning and happy Guru Purnima to one and all present over here. एक असा प्रश्न आहे की माझ्या घरी जी मेड आहे, शी इज ॲक्च्युली मेड मीन्स दे डोंट हॅव लाईक इनफ काइंड ऑफ फूड शेल्टर, ते आपण म्हणतो बेसिक नीड्स, अन्न, पाणी आणि निवारा. So she asked for money to build her house. So I thought की ठीक आहे आपण एखाद्याला हेल्प केली तर इट इज गुड सो and we are in a position to help somebody, so it's always we should give instead of expecting. We should keep giving to the peoples, at least the needy peoples. So I gave her some financial support, and it's like mutual. She said की ताई तुम्ही माझ्या पगारातून थोडे थोडे पैसे कट करून घ्या. म्हटलं ठीक आहे, ओके, नो प्रॉब्लेम. देन नेक्स्ट 2 months शी सेड की मला काहीतरी अजून प्रॉब्लेम आहे, तर मला पूर्ण पगार हवा आहे आणि माझे आता तुम्ही पैसे कट करू नका. म्हटलं ठीक आहे, ओके, नो प्रॉब्लेम. देन नेक्स्ट 3rd month मध्ये सडनली हर हजबंड कॉल्ड अँड आय हॅड अन ॲक्सिडेंट अँड शी कॅनॉट कम फॉर द वर्क. Then I said, okay, no problem. He said ki she might come or she may not come, maybe after 1 month or something. Then my mother-in-law started worrying. अरे तिला इतके तू पैसे देऊन ठेवलेस, सांगितलं का नाहीस? Otherwise, if I tell her, then she will say no. So usually I don't tell, I don't share. So she started worrying. एवढे पैसे तू तिला आधीच देऊन ठेवलेस तर ते आता परत कसे येणार म्हणून. सो आय सेड की इट्स हार्ड अर्न मनी, सो इफ इट इज माइन देन इट विल डेफिनेटली कम बॅक टू मी. सो एका महिन्यानंतर कळालं की वॉट एव्हर माय मेड्स हजबंड हॅज टोल्ड और माय मेड हॅज टोल्ड दॅट ही मेड अन ॲक्सिडेंट अँड ऑल, इट वॉज ऑल सगळं खोटं होतं. बट स्टील आय सेड ओके, नो प्रॉब्लेम. देन आय वॉज लाईक, if it is mine, it will definitely come back to me. So I was not worrying about that money. So I just wanted to ask whether to expect that money back is the feeling of prosperity or not. So fine. See, one day she came and she gave half of the money.
I got it.
Okay.
ठीक है. Namaste. Welcome to Day's Live. As usual, I'll do the recap, and in the recap, I'll try to take your questions as well. Basically, there are 2 questions, like 3 questions. So one is about intention, the other is I have given money to someone, and I'm expecting that money to be back to me. Is this the feeling of prosperity, or it is not the feeling of prosperity? So basically, these are 2 major questions. On the day 1, in the first session, we all have reached the conclusion that this physical facility with the rest of the nature is required. Okay? This is required. But then, gradually, some of us are developing this understanding, relationship with other human beings is also required. Correct? And then we are trying to explore that if both these things are required, then out of these 2, which is my continuous need? Which is my qualitative need? Which one is my temporary need in time, and which is my limited need in time? So physical facility is temporary in time and required in limited quantity. relationship is continuous in time, and this required unconditional. Okay? Since yesterday, we are trying to understand what is relationship. In the cell. And what we are able to see that if I have right understanding about relationship, which means this feeling of relationship, what we discussed yesterday, the trust, respect, with this feeling, it leads to my happiness. When I have this feeling in me, when I have this understanding in me, I am happy within, and with this happiness, when I interact with the other also comfortable with it. The other is comfortable with the feeling of trust, feeling of respect, or mistrust, disrespect. So this leads to mutual happiness. Is there any role of physical facility into it? No. But then what we have assumed, there is a deeply rooted preconditioning. What? Physical facility is everything. But for my happiness and for the happiness of the other, there is no role of physical facility. Right? This physical facility is required to ensure the health of the body. So if I have this right understanding in me, with this I'll be able to do the correct assessment of my required physical facility. With this, I am into the feeling of prosperity because I am prosperous, not exploiting the nature, but participating in the enrichment of the nature, so it leads to the mutual prosperity. Correct? This is what we have discussed. So one human being can give these three things to the other human being. And one human being can take these three things from the other human being. What are those three things? Right understanding, relationship, and physical facility. Out of these three, which one continuously you are needed from the other? Understanding and relationship. Which one the other is also continuously required? Right understanding and relationship. So this I can give it to the other continuously. This I can take from the other continuously. In fact, this is what I am expecting from the other continuously. I am expecting physical facility from the other very sometime. Right? What we all are expecting from the other? These feelings, what we discussed, started discussing from the other. So this is what I am expecting from the other continuously. What is my expectation? Trust, respect. And today we are going to discuss from affection to the love. So this is my expectation. This I am expecting from continuously from other. The other is also expecting the same thing from me continuously. If I develop this understanding within me, and if I have these feelings within me, right? What she said, what's your name? Yeah. Dipali. So what Dipali Didi said, in the past 4 days discussion, what I have understood, that if I have these feelings in me, I'll be happy. So not expecting these feelings from the other. I keep expecting these feelings from the other. Will I be happy in continuity? As and when the other is able to give it to me, I'll be happy. But that's very temporary happiness. It's a conditional. If the other is able to give it to you. Now tell me, can you be with any other 24/7? Is it possible? So there could be a possibility that the other is there for the 20 hours. And the other is giving this feeling to you. You are taking this feeling from the other.
because the other has it, so he is able to give it to you. How about that remaining 4 hours? So by expecting the feelings from the other, I cannot be happy. But by developing this right understanding about relationship, understanding this feeling and having these feelings in me, I can be happy. Okay? This is one. If I'm giving this physical facility to the other, but not right understanding and relationship, what do you think? Will this other be able to identify the need of the physical facility? See, what is happening today, the other have also assumed that the money is everything. We also have this deeply rooted preconditioning that physical facility, money is everything, right? So we try to do the transactions in terms of only physical facility. If the other or I have not done the correct assessment of my the need of the physical facility, then the need of the physical facility will become unlimited for the other. And also unlimited for me. If this physical facility becomes unlimited for the other, then there is a possibility that my maid may ask 1,000 rupees to me this month. After a couple of months, 2,000 rupees, then 5,000 rupees, then 10,000 rupees. If physical facility is the source of your happiness, okay, and you have taken let us say 10,000 rupees from the other. Why you are taking this 10,000 rupees from the other? To make yourself happy. Correct? To make yourself happy, you are taking this 10,000 rupees. If you are taking this 10,000 rupees to fulfill the need of your physical facility, then it is fine. But then the identification of the required physical facility, if it has been done, then only it is fine. If the identification of required physical facility has not been done, and wait, let me complete. If the identification of required physical facility has not been done, then there could be a possibility that you may take a loan to buy a car from the other. Correct? Now what will happen? You will buy the car with the money taken from the other. After you have taken this 10,000 rupees from the other. And what do you say? After a couple of months, I will return your 10,000 rupees back. See? After 2 months, you don't have this 10,000 rupees. Will you be able to return? No. After 5 months, you have 20,000. But physical facility is the only source of your happiness. Will you be able to return? No. You know why? Because from this 20,000 rupees, you are giving 10,000 rupees which you have taken from the other. Only 10,000 rupees will be there. You will be compromising with your happiness. You will never return your money. And this is what happens in most of the cases. In most of the cases, you have this question. Why? What that question is? The person was in need. I have given him 10,000. Now, he bought a cell phone of 70,000 rupees, but not returning my 10,000. Obviously, the person will not be able to return your 10,000. The reason that 10,000, if he's giving 10,000 rupees back to you, which means his happiness is getting minus by the 10,000 rupees. And he wants to be happy. He doesn't want to be unhappy. Correct? He wants to be happy. If you are giving physical facility to the other, sometimes when required, I have given my physical facility to my maid 5 times, but my maid come to my house every day. If every day, if I take efforts for the development of right understanding in my maid, with the feeling of relationship, then there could be a possibility that my maid will be able to do the correct assessment of her need, and she may not ask me physical facility at all. Correct? So it is important. What is important? Right understanding and relationship. This is the continuous need of myself and also the continuous need of other self. If I have this right understanding and right feeling, I can ensure, facilitate, help other in giving these two things. With these two things only other can be a responsible. जो समझदार होता है वो क्या होता है? जिम्मेदार होता है. The one who has understanding is responsible. Are we making other responsible? Are we sharing this right understanding with right feeling with other? Or most of the time, what do we think? Sharing physical facilities now. Right? So this is one, the one answer. Other, about this intention. What we are saying, that is this your intention or this is not your intention? आप ये चाहते या नहीं चाहते? Your intention is to have these three or only one? What would be your priority in this intention? Number one, number two, number three. Intention of everybody is the same, right? My intention is to have the right understanding in me, right feeling in me, and with the right understanding and right feeling physical facility. This is my intention in the set priority order. Your intention is also set. Where is the trouble in intention? But if I have assumed that physical facility is everything, now this is the problem with my assumption or my intention? Assumption. I have assumed it at the level of my imagination, which means in my living, what will be there? My assumptions will be there in my living. By looking at my living, that I'm accumulating more and more, I'm exploiting other, I'm dominating other to accumulate more. If you doubt on my intention, will that be a right evaluation of myself? Not the right evaluation. What will be the right evaluation? That he is lacking in competence. And what is the lack of competence? That he has assumed that physical facility is the only source of happiness. So this is the problem with the assumptions of the other. It's not the intention. This is one. Now the question comes, like repeatedly, if the same thing is happening, one time is fine, 2 times what you are saying is right, 10 times what you are saying is right, that the intention of the other person is right. But how about the same person doing the same thing again and again?
His intentions are not right.
His intention is not right, or is lacking in understanding the thing. Let me give an example, right? We say mistakes. If something wrong happens from my side, how do I conclude? Have you done any mistake intentionally? Have you done any mistake intentionally? See, I'm not able to take it rightly. That is the reason the mistake is happening, right? If I'm able to take it rightly, the mistake will not happen. It's mistake. And what I'm not able to take it rightly, there is some assumptions here, and with these assumptions I am operating. I have certain assumptions about relationships. And what is my assumption? The relationship is on the basis of the designations and the post. Now this is my assumption. With this assumption, my interactions with my boss is different and my interactions with my subordinate is different. I am not able to take the relationship rightly. Mistake is happening in me. There is no frustration in me. There is no tension in me. Am I able to do it? See, from the childhood till this age, till this moment, I am not able to, but I never have doubt on my intention. How many times the same mistake has happened? Every moment the same mistake is happening from me. Every moment. Because every moment I want to live with the feeling of relationship. Minus only those moments in which I lived with the feeling of relationship. Rest all moments, years, I was not able to live with the feeling of relationship. But still, I do not have doubt on my intention. But if the other person is doing the same thing, I say that he is repeating the same mistakes again and again. When the same thing happens by me, I give the reason that I am not able to understand. If I am not able to understand, there is a possibility that the other may have difficulty in understanding. Okay, this is 2. The third part of your question. When the crime ratio will increase. See, what is the meaning of trust? The meaning of trust is clarity on the intention. But intention is not only part. The competence is also a major part. If the other people do not have competence to live with their natural acceptance, will they be able to live? Then every time I need to look into my competence and the competence of the other. That is the reason I have given you this example yesterday, that whenever I travel with a chain and a lock. Why? I know the competence of the other. There's a clarity on the intentions of the other. If I travel with the chain and lock, the possibility of crime is decreasing. It's not increasing, it's decreasing. So trust doesn't mean the blind belief. That is not the trust. If you start blindly believing that everybody is good, you will meet with lots of accidents. I'm not saying that everybody is good. What I'm saying, everybody is potentially good. Potentially good. Intentionally good. But if for to be good, I need to realize my potential. I need to realize my intention. So when my imagination is guided by my natural acceptance, that natural acceptance is the intention part. When the imagination is guided by the natural acceptance, then my competence and my intention will be same. Which means what I really want to be and what I am will be same. Then only I'll be able to live with my intention. Otherwise, there is always gap between my intention and my living. Right? And this gap needs to be reduced. And this gap can be minimized by education. Education which has the content of right understanding, right feeling, and physical facility. So a student will be able to develop right understanding in the self, right feeling in the self. With this right understanding and right feeling, they will be able to live happily. At the same time, the student will be able to understand, identify the correct need of the physical facility, and will develop the skills to produce or make this physical facility with the right skill. And what is the meaning of right skill? The sustainable production. With these three things, I can be happy and prosperous. With these three things, my student can be happy and prosperous. So this much we have discussed till yesterday. Let me see if you have any questions, any sharing.
Sir, one thing. In the beginning, you told that exchange of right understanding, exchange of relationship, and exchange of physical facilities. The two things I could understand, exchange of relationship, that we can live with relationship. The first thing, giving right understanding, we can give right understanding to other, but it is not possible all the time. If the other is not a recipient of anything from you, he or she do not want to listen to you, you cannot give right understanding. And even I have to evaluate if it has actually developed in me or not.
Yeah. See, these three things, if you have these three things, you will be able to share it. If you do not have these three, you will not be able to share.
The first thing I can try to develop in me, but in the other, if I think that I will develop right understanding in each and every one, I am not finding it like I will be able to do it.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. That this is the requirement of me and this is also the requirement of the other. Correct? Is this requirement of me or not? The same requirement for the other is also not. Right? If I want to fulfill the need of the other, what is the prerequisite? I need to have it. If I have right understanding, then only I'll be able to share the right understanding. If I have right feelings, then only I will be able to share the right feelings. If I have physical facility, then only I'll be able to share the physical facility. All this is sharing. When I'm sharing, I don't expect that the same thing will return back to me. So you have money, you have shared the money. If the money comes back to you, fine. If it doesn't come back to you, you had and you share. Correct? You had money and you shared the money. Similarly, if you have the feeling of trust, you have shared your feeling of trust. If you have this feeling of, right understanding within, you are sharing this right, understanding. You have, which means you are having it. So if you are having it, then you are not expecting it back from the other. Okay?
No, sir, the other is
I understood.
in a
I'm answering to your question.
Sir.
I'm answering to your question.
Yes.
Right. I'm answering to your question. There are many things, right? One part, two parts. Now let us take into the part number 3. To facilitate this right understanding in other, to share this right understanding in other, with other, do I need to have that right understanding or not? If I have, then only I can share. Right? At least I am able to see that I do not have right understanding in me. I am in the process of development of my right understanding. At least I am able to see in me. So whatever the part of the right understanding is there in me, only that I can share. You can evaluate about your own self. What is the right evaluation? The right evaluation is basically evaluation of my competence. And what is the meaning of competence? The competence is the ability and the clarity to live in harmony with it. Rest all is incompetence. This preconditioning is competence or incompetence? अयोग्यता, क्योंकि उसके साथ में मैं ही अपने में ठीक से जी नहीं पा रहा हूँ, तो वो तो योग्यता हो ही नहीं सकती. So the right evaluation of ourselves is very essentially required. Am I able to evaluate myself rightly? Otherwise, most of the times, I over-evaluate myself. I start with this question. I have this right understanding within. Do I have this right understanding within, or I am in the process of development of my right understanding? This will be a right evaluation of ourselves. Correct? This will be a right evaluation of ourselves. Then what will be my focus? My focus will be development of this right understanding within me. In the process, I can just only live with the feeling of relationship with the other. And this is also, I can try to live with the feeling of relationship with the other. Because these feelings are not established in me, then I cannot live with the feeling of relationship with the other. And for very, very small thing, I may keep doubting the intentions of the other. I'll just give you a small exercise. Start becoming aware of yourself. Start becoming aware of your feelings. Start becoming aware of your thoughts. Have this experiment in this hall with the people sitting in this hall. Whenever I am looking at this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, what sort of feeling goes in me? What sort of thought is going in me? Start observing it. Start doing this observation, right? Then, with this observation, you will be able to conclude many things. If someone is asking question, am I getting irritated? Why he is asking question again and again? If someone is not asking question, again, am I thinking that this person is just only sitting from the day one and has not asked any question? If someone is stretching feet, sleeping, I'm looking at the body, what is going through me? Right? When I go to the break, the tea is being served. If someone is standing in front of me in the queue, what goes in me? Do I want to go ahead of that person or not? Take this experiment. Right? Take this experiment. Start observing our feelings. Start observing our thoughts. With this observations of the self, you will be able to draw many conclusions about your clarity about the relationship. Okay? So living with the feeling of relationship, which means having the trust with it, that the intentions of everyone is right. But there is some sort of competence issue, and because of that competence issue, some problems are happening. If I am able to see to it, I am in harmony. But if I am not able to see to it, then looking at the behavior, I am doubting on the intentions. Now, if the other person lacking competence, what will be the program? Let us say, program for development of right understanding. We are talking about this program of development of right understanding in others. Okay. How do I develop the competence of my wife? A question. How do I develop the competence of my HOD? How do I develop the competence of my friend? Right? This is the question. How do I develop the competence of other person? Now we have this question. Okay? Yes.
The right understanding you can exchange with the others. एक प्रोफेसर 58 साल उम्र है, IIT से PhD किया हुआ है. He is saying I am right, और एक स्टूडेंट को कहता I am irritated from you. पता नहीं मुझे वो सही है या गलत है, पर एक स्टूडेंट से कितने टाइम को इरिटेटेड रह सकता है, और उसे इरिटेट हो गया, उसके मार्क्स काटना, उसको कुछ उल्टा बोलना जिससे वो सुसाइड तक पहुंच जाए, उस पॉइंट तक पहुंच जाए, तो मैं उसको राइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग कैसे ट्रांसफ़र करूं? वो मेरी सुनना ही नहीं चाहता, मैं तो बहुत छोटा हूं उससे. वो कहता है कि आई एम ओनली राइट. मैंने IIT से PhD किया है, 25 रिसर्च पेपर ऐसे इंडेक्स में निकाले हैं, फलाने देश में, उसमें मैंने पता नहीं क्या क्या किया हुआ है. This is the situation I have. This is not hypothetical, sir. I am facing it. मुझे उस आदमी पे कई बार दया भी आती है. 58 ईयर का हो गया है, 1-2 साल में अगर इसको यही सोचता रहा तो ये रिटायरमेंट लेने से पहले ही कहीं और चला जाएगा, क्योंकि वो दूसरे को परेशान करने के लिए अपने अंदर बहुत कुछ चलाता रहता है. एंड द स्टूडेंट इज जस्ट 18-19 ईयर ओल्ड गर्ल. तो उसको कैसे समझाऊं कि ये तेरे बराबर नहीं है, बहुत अंतर है. इसको जो है ना एक उसकी ज़रूरत है कि आप इसको गाइड करें इसको प्रॉपरली. नहीं, ही वांट टू पनिश द स्टूडेंट. और जब भी वो स्टूडेंट उसके पास जाए उसको एक आंसर होता है, आई एम इरिटेटेड फ्रॉम यू, डोंट कम टू मी. ये अलग बात है कि मैं उसको बोलता हूँ कोई बात नहीं, इसे इरिटेटेड रहने दो, इसका इरिटेशन इसके अंदर है, डोंट गेट इट ट्रांसफर्ड टू यू. Actually, he is transferring his irritation to the student, and she is getting the loss. One day she was crying in the night. How he can be irritated from me? महा आप इसको एक बार ये सोचो कि he is none to you. एक बार थोड़ा दूर करो उसे, सोचो. तब उसको थोड़ा सा ये मिला कि हाँ, अब मुझे थोड़ा दूर बैठ के सोचना है. इरिटेटेड वो है, मैं नहीं. तो
आपने जो वो स्टूडेंट को सलाह दी ना,
स्टूडेंट को सलाह दी, उसको कंसोल किया, उसको
मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ,
हाँ सर,
आपने जो स्टूडेंट को सलाह दी वो अपने लिए ले लीजिए.
नहीं वो तो ठीक है, लेकिन उसका लॉस तो
बात वही होती है. क्या होता
स्टूडेंट का
है,
लॉस हो गया, उसको 9.67 पॉइंट पे उतार 2 पे उतार दिया.
होगी आपकी बात.
नहीं, एक बात रहेगी, राइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग उसको कैसे ट्रांसफर करें हम.
अब वो तो क्वेश्चन ही निकल के आया ना,
यही
और उसी का आंसर वहाँ पर दे रहा हूँ मैं. वो क्या लिखा है वहाँ पर, प्रोग्राम फॉर द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ राइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग इन अदर, वही मैं डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ.
और ये अदर इसलिए नहीं रहेगा सर क्योंकि मेरे एक स्टूडेंट से रिलेटेड हो गया और मेरे से रिलेट हो गया. वैसे तो जब हमारे जो दायरे से बाहर है दुनिया है, होता तो वो भी इफेक्ट है, लेकिन जो बिल्कुल क्लोज विसिनिटी में हो रहा है उसका बहुत ज़्यादा इफेक्ट होता है. तो सर ये कंफ्यूजन है मेरे अंदर अभी तक कि राइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग को ट्रांसफ़र करना या वो करना बड़ा ही. जी सर,
अब बताओ. Am I able to stay away from the other person? No. Right? Because staying away is not the solution. Relationship is, no matter how hard you try to stay away, you will invite unhappiness within. So staying away is not a solution. Number 2, can you stay away? We cannot stay away, right?
As you said yesterday,
Only physically you can stay away. Staying away, which means you will stop interacting with the other person. But that other person is staying in your imagination. If the other person is not staying in your imagination, then such sort of questions will not be raised at all. That other person is staying in my imagination. Why the other person is staying in my imagination? Because I want to live with the feeling of relationship, and I am having this opposition in me for the other person. Okay. But now the question is that, how do I make program for the development of right understanding in others? Right? How do I make this program? Number one thing, development of right understanding and right feeling within me. This is the first step. What is the first step? If I want to give something to the other, I should have this. So the development of this right understanding and right feeling in me, with this only I can be the help to the other. Yes. Number 2. Now, you have this right understanding and right feeling. You are taking efforts for the right understanding and right feeling. But this time is important or not? Kiss वक्त? When? Time is not the availability of the time. Time in a sense, in which situation, in which time I can be the help. Be the help. If you and me are fighting with each other, can I develop your understanding? So the timing is wrong. The timing itself is wrong, right? You are having this whole lot of opposition for me, I am having this whole lot of opposition for you, and then I am trying to teach you. You will take this as a teaching, and you will say that don't teach me. I know, right? The other person also says the same thing, don't teach me, I know. So why do we say I know? Because I know your behavior. The other person is also saying that I know your behavior. So don't teach me. So the timing is very important. What would be the appropriate timing? When the other person is, number one, what you are saying is absolutely right, calms down. And number 2, is ready to listen. When the other person will be ready to listen? The other person will be ready to listen only when, if he or she is assured of my relationship. For that, I need to live unconditionally and continuously with the feeling of relationship with the other person. Then only that preparation, the readiness will be there. If I'm not living with the feeling of relationship with the other person, if I'm fighting, if I'm blaming, if I'm expressing my irritation, anger, why that other person will listen to me? So this timing is very important. And in the timing, it's 2 things. What? The need of the other person. And number 2, assurance of the other person. If the other person is not able to see that he or she is needed it, अगर उसको लगता ही नहीं उसकी आवश्यकता है, तो क्यों सुनेगा? क्यों सुनेगा वो?
Many times it happens in this fashion only. Person doesn't want to listen in that time. Many times happen that the next person doesn't want to listen in this time. So if you have some time, if you spend some time in some other thing, maybe after 2 hours, 4 hours or 2 days, he is willing to listen.
See what is happening here. The day 1, session 1. I said the same thing, right? Correct? But now, some of you, most of you are able to understand the meaning of it. Correct? On the day 5th, this is happening. For the past 4 days, we have been talking on the same thing, again and again. right understanding, relationship, physical facility. But when I have written this today on the board, I could see that now some of you are writing it on your notebook. Oh, this is really, this should be the priority order. It takes time to understand. This is number one. Number two, on the day one, first session, you thought this is only your need. But then I started asking you, what I asked, what is the major reason for the unhappiness in the family? The lack of physical facility or relationship? Did I say that the relationship is the major? I didn't say. I tried to help you out to look within, to observe your feelings, to observe your reasons for the unhappiness. You are concluding it. So you have concluded lack of feeling of relationship is a major problem. Then you felt that there is a need to understand the relationship. Correct? And now you are feeling that there is a need to understand the relationship, I should invest my time. So some of you already on the day 3, day 4, started saying that we want to continue. So this 8 days is enough, but after the 8 days also we want to remain connected with your team, the UHV team. We want to attend this weekly meeting, morning session. Why this is happening? Because that need got generated in you now. Correct? If this need is not generated in the other person, why this other person will listen? This is number one. And number two, if this need is not being generated in the other person, then why am I spending my time? I am spending my time, tell me. I tell you, one of the problem, one of the issue. This issue has happened with one of our volunteers. See? A nice person. She has a lot of concern about the college. Too much of concern. So she always gives good suggestions. Very nice suggestions. And she also used to share, I shared these suggestions in my today's meeting, these suggestions in today's meeting. And the suggestions were extremely valid. If the management, principal, dean, director and HOD accepts her suggestions, I tell you that college will really grow. She gives beautiful suggestions, right? Very practical suggestions and doable suggestions. But then her issue, she got very depressed. Very, very depressed. And every now and then she used to say that, I suggested these things, but my principal is not accepting it. My management is not accepting it. Then I asked her, what is your job profile? You are a faculty, right? So do the job of a faculty. Why you are doing the job of principal? The principal is sitting on his chair to do the job of principal. Let the principal think about the college. It is not your job. The principal thinks that this is my job. Why are you teaching me? See, these suggestions, we have this habit of giving suggestions. Unnecessary. Whether the other is required, not required. So whether this need is there in the other person or not. If this need is there, the need of understanding is there in the other person, then only the other person will listen to it. If that need is not there, the other person will not listen. Take a minute, Didi, let me complete. I'll come to you. Let me complete. This is point number 2. Okay, this is point number 2. The point number 3. Yesterday, in that respect, I have written few words on the board. Competence was there, potential was there, the capacity, skills, intention, So these words was written on the board. Out of these word, the one is the capacity. Potential is the same, right? What is the potential? Desired thoughts and expectations are there in you, me, and I am endowed with natural acceptance. This is there. How about this capacity? This is same or different? Let me give you an example. Let's assume, I don't know what is there on the rooftop, but let's assume the rooftop is flat. Okay. On this flat rooftop, because these days it's raining, keep 10 buckets. Okay. The bucket number 1 will be downward up. So the base will be on the top. Okay. The opening side is on the floor. This is bucket number 1. Bucket number 2, 1 liter capacity. And then keep on increasing 1 liter in every bucket. So the bucket number 9 will be 9 liters. ठीक है? पहला bucket क्या है? उल्टा है. दूसरा bucket 1 liter. The last bucket 9 liter capacity. Rain falls for 15 minutes. Tell me, in the bucket number 1, how many water will be there? In the bucket number 1, no water. In number 1, number 2, number 3. नहीं, पहली उल्टी है, बाकी सब सीधी है. है ना, जिसका जितना कैपेसिटी